and welcome to this week's episode of M&A TV. I hope you're all staying safe and keeping out of trouble. But let's take a look at today's lineup for the show. We hear from Paranormal Spirit Quest in Paranormal Chat. Jody shares his favourite videos to watch in this week's M&A Recommends. And Fran talks healing spells in the spiritual world. But first, here's Shell with M&A News.
Hello and welcome to this week's M&A News. Now, as Chris is presenting the show this week, I've decided to step in and do the news for him. So first up, last Wednesday we had our very first pub quiz live on our Facebook page. It was a bit of a spur of a moment thing, just something fun for us to keep us entertained during this period. But everybody that came and joined in, I think, really enjoyed it. So if you haven't watched it, just go, the clip is up on the Facebook page there, go and watch it. We just made 16 paranormal themed questions. Everyone did really well, although I think there may have been a little bit of cheating going on. But it was a really fun thing to do, and something that we're thinking of doing more often on our Facebook page, especially during this lockdown period, with fun videos that people can get involved in. So if you have any ideas of something similar to this that we can do in a live on Facebook, just let us know in the comments and we'll sort it out. So this Wednesday, we haven't got anything officially planned yet, but we will try and think of something. So that's tomorrow night, because you'll be watching this Tuesday. And we'll be live around 8:30 again on our Facebook page. So come and join us and we'll have a laugh, a chat, maybe just a little chat this week and see what everyone's up to. And then we'll plan something for the following Wednesday when we get a few ideas rolling. Unfortunately, due to the current situation with COVID-19, we have had to put all of our plans on hold. So like we said before, we aren't planning any investigations currently, although we do have a list of locations that we do want to check out when this is all over, although when that'll be is anyone's guess right now. Also, we have 3 dates this year, 3 weeks where we are free, both myself and Chris, where we were hoping to do some paranormal themed road trips again. So we really enjoyed the last one we did, and we want to kick that off again. Currently the weeks that we've got off are June. There's one towards the end of June, one mid-August, and a week in October that again coincides with mine and Chris's birthday. So we hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be over soon, and if we don't make the first dates, we could hopefully August and October will be a go ahead. Now, we haven't planned anywhere to go yet. We do want to kick off with Wales. We're going to take the kids with us for that one. A bit of a family holiday / paranormal road trip. So we'll do a few paranormal things whilst we're out and about. But the other dates, currently we don't have any plans of locations to travel to. So if you want to see us come to your area, if you have places in mind that you think we should check out, please let us know, whether that be for just to come and have a look around, to do an investigation, or even record one of our ghostly tales. Also, if any teams would like to meet up whilst we're out and about in their area, to let us know and we'll arrange something, even if it's not this year, maybe next year. Get as many of these paranormal trips down as possible. So yeah, get in touch if you want to see us, and remember, our Paranormal Road Trippers group is still there on Facebook. Come and join us and let's all plan some awesome investigations and road trips together. So there isn't really much news to tell you other than that for this week, apart from we'd just like to say that new member Fran is it's her birthday on this coming Friday, the 24th of April. So I hope she has a wonderful day, despite being stuck in the house. But from myself and the rest of the M&A team, happy birthday, Fran, and have a wonderful day. And I'm sure everybody watching wishes you a happy birthday too. So enjoy your day, have fun. Also, Fran does her spiritual day on her Facebook group every Friday. So because it's her birthday, I think everyone should come and join her to help her celebrate. And she'll be doing live readings in the morning, followed by some kind of perhaps guided meditation later on in the evening. So that's a lot of fun. Myself and Chris joined in with this Friday's guided meditation, and it was very relaxing, very enlightening, a wonderful experience. So we highly recommend you come and join us next Friday for that. So that's all the news for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of today's show. Bye.
Thanks, Shell. It's been a refreshing change to have someone else do the news on M&A TV. Up next is Paranormal Spirit Quest and Paranormal Chat. Enjoy.
We're a small friendly group who investigate in all things paranormal. Our quest is to find out about the history of the venues we investigate, its locations, buildings and the people who lived and worked in them for many years.
We've been investigating for a number of years, and we also look into the folklores and superstitions. Our investigations are carried out with factual research, and we're always transparent. A large percentage of what we find we debunk as well, but we also hope to catch that small percentage that cannot be explained. And with the evidence we capture, we try to record and examine, and this you can see on our YouTube channel.
We use modern day paranormal devices and also use traditional methods such as pendulums, communication boards and sometimes good old fashioned calling out and listening.
So please join us in the coming year for more of our investigations.
And if you enjoy watching our investigations, don't forget to like and subscribe.
My name is Chris and I'm the group medium. Part of my role as the medium within the group is to ensure that the group are protected. So at the start of obviously every investigation we carry out protection prayer, and I draw in the guides and doorkeepers to ensure that we're safe throughout our investigation. Another aspect of my role is to obviously be aware of where the spirit are and to help support the investigations that we undertake. So finding out the areas that would have the most activity in them, and then looking at the evidence that we've got and interpreting that from my perspective. It's been a really great learning curve for me undertaking investigations, but also some great progress as well. Obviously the perspective that I come in from is slightly different. The tools that I use are myself and the spirit I've worked on for many years. But it's great to use things like K2s and other devices to validate what's actually going on. So I will pick up on a spirit, I'll communicate with them, and then the group will investigate that further. And 9 times out of 10, the instruments and the group will be able to validate what we've found. It's really great working with them, actually. I think one thing that separates us from other groups is that I run a development circle within the group to help develop their spiritual and mediumistic skills, which in turn is supporting the group with their understanding of what they're finding out and making that investigation much greater and wider. They're able to develop their work with their guides to bring spirit on, to develop their energies and their focus, but it also harmonises the group so that we work much more effectively together, which is really helping to bring on lots of evidence for us and to enable the spirit to step forward and to link with us. Right, so some memorable investigations that we've been on. for me would be Fort Amherst and Sutton Valence. I thought they were really good investigations. Certainly at Sutton Valence there was a lot of activity. We were able to get K2s going wild. People were really aware that there was a presence that was circling the castle itself, or the house itself. We had candles flickering and rising at will, giving us answers, and we were able to draw in a really interesting spirit of a young lady. Our lead investigators were able to really communicate well with her. Obviously, as a medium, that was really impressive for me, because I was able to link up with her and they were able to validate the things that we were saying. So that's a very good site, and it was a really good investigation there. It was out in the open, so the energies were really strong from the sort of natural environment around us. And the group at that time were sitting within a circle, so we were all very much linked up, and our vibrations were really in tune, so we were able to generate various energies and entice and encourage the spirits to come forward. So that's really how that sort of thing works, and as a medium that's really important for me to be able to offer that within the group, whilst maintaining that sense of security as well. Debs is training or developing as a medium, so she quite often will use her mediumistic skills that she's developing to link up, using psychometry, reading the area, or just being perceptive with the spirit. So she's getting very, very accurate and is very good at that. I feel that is a very good skill to have within a group, and it certainly helps the investigations, making them much stronger and more focused. So Fort Amherst was a really good site to visit with the group. It was a real testing ground for us. It was a really large place. We had free run of all of the tunnels, and obviously the environment itself was quite eerie, so it lent itself very well to the investigation. It was the first time we'd taken out a really large group as well, but weren't necessarily part of our normal investigation group. But it went exceptionally well. We had a lot of really good evidence, both photographic as well as from the mediumistic point of view. We were really put to our test. So the guide took us around and we hit everything absolutely 100% accurately. He was really impressed, and we were able to sort of dig down a little bit deeper, because the group worked very well together, and we had some good energy there. We were able to find out some interesting facts. It was nice working with the group because they were able to pick up using their mediumistic skills as well. For instance, there was Debs and two others were picking up the vibrations of a particular area where there'd been a landslide or a cave-in in the tunnels, and we didn't know that, and two people had been killed and their bodies had been placed at the side. Well, the group picked that up, so Debs was able to pick that up, and we were able to verify that. So it was really interesting. We found a very dominant spirit when we went to the barracks, and the K2s went absolutely mad, but on demand as well to our questions. And there was also the energy of a poor young child who was under the bed, very, very frightened. We were able to physically feel the hair and the head of this child. All in all, I think Fort Amherst was an exceptionally good investigation. The evidence that we got of the soldier in the photograph and the validation we got from the people that ran the place was excellent for us.
I'm Debbie.
And I'm Rodney.
We are the co-founders of Paranormal Spirit Quest, and we are here today to tell you a little bit about our group, our investigations that we go on, and some of the equipment that we use. I'll start by saying about the special equipment that I like to use, and that is the pendulum. And this really started from quite some time ago when I first got my pendulum. we went to an investigation at Sutton Valence, and I started asking the normal questions like, are you a male spirit? Are you a female spirit? Did you live here? Did you work here? Did you die here? And I kept getting no's through, and I thought, well, you know, this spirit is here. Who are you? And all of a sudden it came over me that this spirit was attached to one of us, and I thought that it could possibly be my granddad. He had passed away about 9 months prior to this. So I thought I'd ask the question. So I said, are you my granddad? And it went to yes. At that time I could remember that I felt quite emotional, thinking that, you know, this could possibly be my granddad, but I needed that clarification. So I started asking some questions, and some of the answers that I was getting were really spot on. So I knew him as Grandad, other people knew him as John, and that wasn't his real name. So what I done is I asked one of my team members to hold the pendulum whilst I asked the name, so he could spell the name out, so I didn't influence the pendulum in any way. So as my team member's holding it, I asked the spirit, can you spell out your real name? And amazingly it did. And from that day to this, I've really trusted my pendulum, and it's given me a hell of a lot of information on our investigations. So that's definitely my favourite piece of equipment I like to use.
So that leaves it to me. My main job is a cameraman and editor, and we try to film our investigations and try not to put as many edit breaks in as possible, so it just shows that everything in real time and transparency basically. So our favourite investigation, I would have to say at the moment our favourite investigation, and we've had quite a few, energies and spirits come to us, but the latest one, which was Slough Fort, which is a newly opened fort, part of a chain of garrison forts which were built in the 1800s, where we live around in Kent. And this is basically a fort in 3 parts, which is a main centre part, which is the main garrison, and then 2 what they call magazines stores either side. They've only just started unearthing and digging out the fort, so all you can really see at the moment is the main garrison and one of the magazines. We just finished the investigation in the main part of the garrison, which went really well. We've done a Ouija board session, and so we decided to take the team to the magazine, where we've done a 20 to 30 minute investigation. We decided to take a break, which we did, where the camera was set up in the corner of the room. I went over to the camera, switched it off, and switched off the infrared light, which independently run. You can clearly see me switching them off, but instantly, straight away, the camera came back on again, for no apparent reason. We walked out of the building was locked up, because we was away for around 40 minutes and we had equipment in there. And throughout the 40 minutes, in the dark, you can hear noises, footsteps, breathing, and if you listen really carefully on our YouTube channel, on the film, you can hear talking throughout. This happened, as I said, for around 40 minutes, and it was a really good evening's investigation at Slough Fort.
There was even one part of the investigation that we threw a marble, didn't we? A glass marble,
yep,
and a ball that lights up when touched by any energy or a spirit. And you couldn't find that marble anywhere after we threw it, could you?
No, not at all.
And then it wasn't until we listened through this bit of footage that was running, that we didn't think was running, because as far as we're concerned, Rodney had turned the camera off, that you can actually hear a glass, like a piece of glass being thrown, and we can only assume that that was the marble.
Yeah, because there was nothing left in the building. There's no furniture. It was just a cleared out room basically.
So nobody was in there, but as soon as you hear that noise, it instantly makes you think that was a glass marble. So
that was Slough Fort on the Thames Estuary.
Here are a few of our favourite clips from past investigations. Welcome back to Paranormal Spirit Quest.
We're here in Fort Halstead. We've got access to some areas but the group's done what we go to, so we're very lucky. It's not also, we've got another bonus night, we've got a lovely Chris back as well, resident medium. Thank you for coming, Chris.
Well, it's lovely to be invited. I think it's going to be a really interesting night. We've walked around the site, haven't we, and felt some really interesting things, so stay tuned.
We've been given access to some places that we wouldn't normally be allowed to go into, and some of the places, like Chris said, we're already picking up on some vibes, so keep on watching. Come on, can you come closer? Can you? Oh, look at that! Can you see? Can you see that on the camera? Are you getting that?
What the heck?
Come on, rock this table.
Literally feel it.
Come on, can you tip it up one side for us? Can you tip it up? Here's our energy. Look at that go. Look. Oh
Isabella.
my God. Come on, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Can you not see that?
What's that?
What?
Well, that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. But next, let's hear about some healing spells and enter Fran's spiritual world.
Hello there, and welcome to Paranormal Chat. I'm Fran, and I'm the team's spiritualist and white witch. I've had a good think about what would be a good topic this week, and I've decided that a good choice would be healing. Pagans and Wiccans have relied for centuries on the healing properties of crystals, herbs and spells. Today I will be taking you through a few simple things that you can do at home to aid in healing yourself or loved ones. Grab a pen and a paper so you can jot things down that you might want to try at a later date. Most witches compile their own spell books called the Book of Shadows. They are made up of spells and rituals that have worked well for that particular witch, with their own modifications and notes. What I'm sharing with you today is from my own personal Book of Shadows. Hay fever is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially this time of year and during the warmer months. And one of the simplest things that you can do to try and control hay fever symptoms is by finding honey that's sourced locally and just having a teaspoon of that honey on a daily basis will build up your immunity to local pollens. So that's a really good one to try. Depression is something that affects more people than we actually realise, and some people hide it incredibly well. But it's something that conventional medicine doesn't always work in curing and can actually make it feel a lot worse. A simple remedy that the Romany gypsies used to use is just to take a peeled clove of garlic and place it on a saucer. You then cover that clove with white vinegar and place it beside the bed as you sleep. You'll find that in the morning the clove of garlic may have turned pink, and this is said to be the negative energies being absorbed by the garlic. Of course, this won't just work by itself. A lot of Romany gypsies used to believe that actually walking to the top of the hill was a good cure for depression, as it could help you reflect on things, to be on a high point or higher ground, and it would help give you a new perspective to problems that you were facing. And this is something that I do quite often myself, actually, when I'm feeling down, is just go and find like the nearest hill to where I live is Sned's Hill. But for those of you that live in much where like you are surrounded by hills there, so you know, take that as an advantage and go to those viewpoints, because it will help. A lot of people struggle with when it comes to dieting, and usually it's cravings. We all have certain foods that we all crave more than others, but you can put an end to those cravings quite simply by just taking a piece of the food that is your vice and planting it into a plant pot, covering in soil, and then within that soil just plant 3 cloves of garlic. By the time the cloves of garlic have started to sprout, all your cravings should have disappeared. If you do start to feel like you are under the weather or coming down with something, an easy way to cleanse that illness is just by simply trimming hair and nails, fingernails and toenails. The clippings are then meant to be buried, or they can be chucked into a stream or river to cleanse away the illness. And don't worry about chucking kind of toenails and other things into rivers or burying them. They're organic material, so they're going to biodegrade really rather quickly. If you want to help someone that you can't be in close contact at the moment or a distance from, a nice way of helping heal them just involves a candle and a pin or a small sharp object. And it's as simple as just writing or carving their name into the side of the candle and letting it burn. White candles are perfectly fine for this. Blue candles are specifically used in healing. So blue candles are better than white, but if you've only got white, that's absolutely fine. It's not as if we can all just pop down to the nearest store and get whatever colour candles we like right now. So you just simply carve the name with a pin or a small sharp object into the side of the candle and let the candle burn out. Never, and I can't stress this enough, never extinguish a candle that you have bonded someone's name onto it, because you are wishing for life to end, in doing such you can actually bring bad things upon yourself. So never extinguish a candle that you're using for simple spell work. Always let it burn out naturally. If you suffer from headaches, clear quartz crystals are going to be your best friend. They are brilliant healing crystals, and I will at some point do a segment just on crystals and their different properties, but today the focus is those clear quartz crystals. Just by placing one on your pillow as you sleep can help relieve headaches. Also, you can, if you're suffering from a really bad headache during the day, just by having a clear quartz crystal and holding it to your head for 5 to 10 minutes with your eyes closed will help relieve headaches. And clear quartz it's such an important crystal for a lot of those witches, because not only does it have its own properties, it's said to enhance the properties of other crystals. So if anyone wants to talk further on crystals, just let me know. So I hope that you find this segment helpful and have made some notes of things that you might want to try. And of course, let us know here at Morris & Anderson Paranormal if they have been successful for you, or if you want to know any more on healing, then just give us a message and tell us if you want to know more about white witchcraft. I will end by just telling you about the term white witch. A white witch is somebody who only ever does healing and positive spell work. A grey witch is someone that uses both positive and negative, so curse people as well as bring healing, so they're kind of consider themselves to be balanced. Then a black witch is someone who only ever uses a craft for their own personal gain. And I will end this session by telling everyone love and light, and you'll hear from me soon. Bye!
Well, that was kind of cool. I love hearing from Fran and learning a thing or two about the spiritual world. It's always fascinating for me. And next up is M&A Reviews.
Daniel's Mill is near Bridgnorth in Shropshire. It is the oldest working watermill in the UK, dating back to the late 15th century. I won't bore you with the history, of which there is plenty, because in this video we are here to review it as a possible paranormal investigation location. If you want to find out more about the mill, please check out their website, danielsmill.co.uk. The mill itself is on 3 levels. The upper floor is home to what is now the visitors' reception and the old living quarters of the mill. There are 2 rooms to investigate in this area, however they are right next to each other with no door separating, and so you could only conduct vigils in one at a time. It does, however, provide 2 locations for locked-off cameras. The middle floor again consists of 2 areas, the milling room and a cellar room, complete with furnace. There is a door separating the 2 rooms, but again we would recommend only using one room at a time due to sound contamination. On the lowest floor is the gear room. This is a small area where all of the mechanics of the mill are housed. Unfortunately, due to the flooding, we were unable to use this area during our visit. Finally, there is the outdoor areas, and in particular under the viaduct which passes over Daniel's Mill, which has had many reports of paranormal activity. From start to finish, all of our contact with Daniel's Mill was exceptional. Trevor of the Mill Trust, who deals with the bookings and enquiries, was very helpful. Peter, whose family owned the mill, greeted us on arrival and again was very helpful. He showed us around and told us some of the history of the building, but didn't delve too much into the reported paranormal activity, which meant we weren't influenced by anything he said. While Daniel's Mill isn't a frightening location, we did get a lot of activity. Our best methods during our time there were the Ouija board and pendulum, however this may differ on other occasions. We believe there to be at least 3 spirits residing in the mill. After our investigation, we managed to chat with Peter about what we had experienced, and many of our findings coincided with reports from other staff members and other teams that had investigated. He was also able to confirm some of the information we had gathered during our Ouija, pendulum and oracle coin sessions. There is currently no set price to hire the mill, as it is based on the size of the group and whether it is for a private investigation or an event. This is great for smaller teams. All of the monies raised from investigations goes into maintaining and restoring the mill. As a team, we feel it is great to be able to contribute to preserving a piece of history. Daniel's Mill is in a semi-rural location, so there isn't a lot of noise disruption. Peter, however, does live on site, but he is very respectful to teams investigating and ensures that there is no noise from his residence that could contaminate evidence. Having Peter on site means he can be available if you need any assistance, or even to do a quick talk to camera if you'd like to hear more about the history of the mill.
Interesting stuff, eh? I thought so. But next up is Real Paranormal Encounters. Really listen to this tale. Check it out. Hello, and welcome back to Real Paranormal Encounters. Now, my story today comes from a gentleman who doesn't want to be identified, so we'll just call him Jeff. Here's his story. In November of 2018, myself and my partner were returning from a pub in Wythall, Worcestershire, called the Peacock Inn. It was gone 11 PM at night, so it was pitch black driving down the country lanes. We came to a hill on a road called Gayhill Lane. Now, at the end of November there was hardly any foliage on the trees, so from the top of this hill we could see, using our headlights, the whole hill down and back up the opposite side. As we came out of the clearing of overhanging trees on either side, my partner slammed her brakes on, with her full beams still on. And in the distance, at the bottom of the hill, lit by some unknown source, maybe the moon, was what appeared to be an entire Roman battalion coming out of the field on the left and crossing the road dead ahead of us. Both of us basically sat in silence, watching the scene unfold about 100, 200 metres ahead of us. I wasn't in any condition to count numbers, but there were roughly about 20 to 30 soldiers on foot and one soldier on horseback at the very front. The person on horseback at the front appeared to be carrying a big stick-like object with something round at the top of it. I couldn't make out what it was though, as I was viewing it side on. It was a very big horse too. I'm not much of an equine expert, but it looked like a Shire horse size and had bushy, furry legs. This all played out over the period of 5 minutes, maybe more, until they had gone into the adjacent field on the right hand side of the road. Amazingly, no other cars or any type of traffic came up or down the road in the space of time. Once the coast was indeed clear, we drove apprehensively down the hill and back up the other side. What flabbergasted us was that at the bottom of the hill, where the battalion had made their way onto the road surface and onto the other side, there was no gap in the field border, the hedgerow. I have done some research into this myself and asked a few history scholars at one of my workplaces, and would you believe that there is a known Roman road called Icknield Street, which runs basically where we saw the soldiers. Well,
Thank you, Jeff, for submitting that story. It was one hell of a tale. And I have to say, I'm quite thankful I've never encountered anything on the road, because that's quite a scary prospect for me, being distracted whilst I'm driving like that. But if any of you have a paranormal encounter you want to share, do get in touch, because as you've seen, we can keep you anonymous if you don't want to be named, or we can interview you over Skype. We can do anything you want. So if you've got a tale you want to tell, let us know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Ooh. Have any of you got a story? Let us know. But for me, wow. On the road, you didn't have anything like that happen to any of you guys? Ooh, I don't know if I'd like it to happen to me, like I said. But next up is M&A Recommends with Jodie.
Hello there everybody, and welcome to M&A's top picks for this week. The first video that we highly recommend that you check out is the latest in the Paranormal Detectives miniseries, World's Most Famous Hauntings. This episode is all about the infamous Cage, a medieval witches' prison. A really interesting location with a lot of history. In this episode you will not only hear from the previous owner talking about her experiences, but also see some of the activity the detectives captured during their investigation back in August of 2018. As you know, we had the pleasure of interviewing Russell Philip Masters on his books So You Want to Be a Paranormal Investigator and Now You Are a Paranormal Investigator in last week's show. Well, a good friend of the team, John Jeffries, made a review of the book when it first came out, and you can find it on his YouTube channel. We'll put his links in the description. So our third pick for you this week, guys, is one of our own videos. It is our very first paranormal investigation at the Bridgnorth Railway Tunnels. Now, what can I say about this place? Well, brilliant place to go. You know, I say kudos to Chris. He worked very hard on this one, getting us permission to investigate it. So yeah, check this one out, guys. It is probably one of my favourite investigation that we've been on. So yeah, check this one out. Our fourth and final pick for this week, guys, is brought to you by Haunted Family Podcast. It's the true paranormal stories, and it's on the hospital ghosts. In this episode, they share with you 3 true stories of paranormal experiences that have happened whilst working in the hospitals. Again, we'll post the link in the description of this video, so be sure to check it out. Okay, we hope you go and check out all those videos, and again we'll have some more top picks for you very soon.
Awesome stuff. Really enjoyed looking at those picks. But that's all we have time for this week. We really hope you've enjoyed the show. Again, if you have any experiences you want to share with us, any bits of knowledge or cool photos or videos you want to share with us, post them into our page and we'll put them up on our show. Like I said, with Real Paranormal Encounters, if you have any stories to tell, whether you want to be named or not, share them with us and we can put them up on our episodes. We can keep you anonymous if you want. If you think you have any bits of knowledge you want to share with us, or you have any questions for Fran, or you want to address anything on a spiritual segment, let us know via our Facebook page. But from me and the team, that's all we have time for. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.